In your opinion, do you think the private sector should be given more leeway to decide on this? If it's your business, I know it's a gray area. That's what the DILG also said. Legally, it's a gray area. But you think the private sector should be given leeway in deciding whether you should provide incentives to vaccinated people?
Well, I don't look at it really as incentives. I really look at it as protecting the unvaccinated. No? So if you want to protect the unvaccinated, you will not allow them to go to business establishments that are higher risk. No? And definitely dine-in, indoor dining is much higher. I mean, gym, spas, and all of them. But we can't also allow these businesses to just close. No? I mean, we have to allow them to open up. And that is also discriminatory in a sense. No? So I don't know why is the conclusion that keeping the unvaccinated protected is discriminatory. It's very clear that our hospitals are full because of the unvaccinated. In a previous show this morning, I said we are really entering the pandemic of the unvaccinated. And if our people don't really see, our decision makers don't really see that clarity, then we're in trouble. I'm glad that the medical advisor that I'm talking to sees that is a issue today. You know, Bakuna, the vaccines do protect those who take it from getting severe infection and going to the hospitals. So I don't seem to understand why people are having a hard time, no, in accepting that as a fact, when the rest of the world also sees the same thing, when they're reducing the mobility of those at high risk. Our children 12 to 17 are not allowed to go out because they don't have the vaccine. So they're required to stay home. And I think that should apply to everybody who has no protection at this point in time. It's definitely a high risk for many people to go out, especially with 22,000 cases the other day.
Yes, sir. But sir, at any rate, we talked to Yusek Densing ng Interior Department the other night, and at nagbabala siya na well, they'll issue a show cause order to the Cebu City government for issuing that executive order allowing bakuna bubbles, and if they do not withdraw that executive order, sanctions will be imposed on them. Ang sabi pa nga ni Densing, there have been other LGUs that tried to do the same thing before. For example, Lapu-Lapu City, and they backed down nung naglabas ng show cause order ang DILG. So there's a pushback from the national government.
Well, it's up to them, and we're trying to find a way on how to live with COVID. I think they're trying to test the granular lockdown. I think they should also test the approach towards allowing the vaccinated to be our consumers at this point in time. Yes, I think that what the mayors in NCR was to, I think, put a resolution forward. They're not implementing it. What they want to do is to pilot test it, and I agree with them. Let's pilot test it. The LGUs with the highest vaccination rate should go first. And let's see how it works. We're pilot testing the granular lockdown. Let's pilot test also this thing. So let's try to learn how to live with COVID. And if we don't learn how to live with COVID, then our economy will suffer. So, Carl Chu of NEDA is supporting it. Sonny Dominguez is supporting it. The entire business sectors are supporting it. All those are affected are supporting it. We've seen closures with automatic center already, and more closures will happen. So you cannot just you have to have a healthy economy and as well a healthy environment. So we have to approach it both ways. And there is a limit of locking down businesses. We are approaching that limit, and people have debts to pay. And let's put that there. Nobody wants to see a lockdown. People are suffering. They were frustrated when, everybody thought it was going to open, and then all of a sudden they had to close. And I understand maybe they had to look at certain issues before really implementing it. But it's very important that we have to plan well, and execute well. That's all I have to say. I mean, the frustration in the business community is really very high, and I understand their plight. And you can't blame them. They have people to feed. They have debts to pay. That's the bottom line.